Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time. The Legion of Doom.
No, we weren't doing the intro.
It gives me time to crack open my Celsius casually.
We gotta do the intro.
We'll make one. I'll make one within 2 weeks. Chat, let us know. Do you want a separate intro for the OPB Weekly Buyer's Guide? Or should I just get JP to send me that video of him flying like a Superman? Have you guys all seen that?
Yes, I've definitely seen that many times.
Welcome to the OPB's Weekly Buyer Guide with Jordan, and then I'm going to toss it down below.
And Chris.
Yes. And up top, Jake.
Hey, Jake's the top.
What's up, everyone? I'm Jake from the Brave and the Boys. This is Jordan from the defunct Braveboys Beyond channel. 6 months, no video? What's that about?
Jake, with all the time that I spent recording our videos,
the ones without audio? My own. The ones without audio?
You saw the wire was connected.
Okay, chat, we have a question. If we did an overhead shot video and you see Jordan's hands running the book, would it be weird if I dubbed the overview audio so the audio didn't match the hands? Would that be too strange? Or do you guys need the content that badly?
Give us the content now.
So I don't know, the video is kind of weird. The continuity's off. Shout out to that comment.
So we got no, they said the content is good, but something's off about the consistency.
There we go. That's what it was.
I'm like, why does that sound like every teacher I've had everywhere? But we got Korriban Hideout, which what's that? Mandalorian helmet with Wolverine?
Yeah.
Or is that Revan? Those kind of like that Revan's helmet?
That looks like Amanda with Wolverine. Yeah, I think you're right.
Then we got Ryan Bragg, the best brag in comic book YouTube. Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Let's hit the jack. Let's see when the chaos is gonna happen. Yeah, this is the show known for chaos, right?
3 episodes in, we're already known for chaos.
Yeah, because it's usually shows have like 1 wild card, but this is the show with 3 wild cards. Just kidding. But I called it Revan and Wolverine.
Okay, there you go.
I had a Revan action figure, but he would always fall over. And then we got the correct links. There we go. James, the backbone and the brain and the soul. What are we reading right now?
I just finished Swamp Thing by
let Chris go. You just cut him off.
No, Jordan.
You went okay. We need buzzers.
We're polite on this show.
We do need buzzers. That would be cool. I just finished Absolute Swamp Thing by Len Wein.
Nice.
Yep.
And any thoughts or notes?
I mean,
opinions?
Absolutely amazing. Love the book. Highly underrated. I know the Alan Moore absolutes overshadow Len Wein sometimes, but my goodness, that whole world building and still throwing in elements of sci-fi throughout every issue, loved it.
But you can't have Alan Moore without Len Wein, so
got it.
And Chris, what are you reading?
I am.
Well, I'm reading. I'm just kidding. I was making fun of
DC
Jordan,
for 500. I am about halfway through the 2nd volume of Once and Future, so hopefully my goal is to finish it by the end of the holiday weekend. So
nice. Is the 2nd volume as good as the first? Because I love the first.
It's wild. It amps it up to a whole other level because you're marching towards the end game with it. So I'm definitely, Dan Mora on art for this kind of story is perfect. So I'm really enjoying it.
Hot take, that is my favorite length of book. Like 2 trades in a deluxe edition with a little slipcase is like as much as I like 2 arcs, because you get to read them both. You get 2 different arcs and like you feel good about what you read, but it's also manageable that you're not reading it for weeks.
My one quibble with it, and this is something that I also have quibbles with Hickman Marvel books, is that you don't put the covers in between. They're just chapters, and I'm always a big I'm glad for the breaks, I do, but I'm such a purist in the sense that I love the cover breaks.
I think it's also important, more so important, less than like a book like that, but if there's ever like a change in the creative team, like I want to know, you know what I mean? At least with those ones, it's a consistent creator and artist for the whole run, but there's also letterers and inkers that might have changed. So
Mhm.
So, but not bad. It's not as off-putting. I know all the covers are in the back, but that's just something I always like seeing, especially since I never read the singles. So,
Yeah. And then we got Javier. What's up, buddy?
well, what are you reading?
Oh,
Jake.
man. I don't get to read for fun anymore. I get to read the first 2 arcs of every Omni that comes out now, and I never get to read anything to be on the side. We're currently doing a book club. We're voting on our book club nominations for our Discord, which is linked right here. And I'm hoping Ultimate Spider-Man by Jonathan Hickman wins, and if it doesn't, I'm going to read it anyways. So that is – but lately, because we bit off more than we can chew, and I don't want – like, David was great. Shouts out to Bat Daddy David. He could crack open a book and just do a full, amazing, energetic video without having read a single page. But I at least feel like I need to read a few arcs of the books I'm doing an overview of. Otherwise, I'm like, who's that X-Men? Who's that X-Men? Who's that X-Men? You know what I mean? Like, I have to get.
You can do a video without even reading it. That's impressive.
Well, because the points of our videos isn't to be Omar giving a 30-minute deep dive on every X-Men event ever tied to the culmination of this one book. Ours are supposed to just be a first look of like, hey, this is what it looks like. These are kind of the extras. This is like, I like to give an arc or maybe like an arc or 2 in the beginning, but like, we're just trying to help push more copies of the book out if someone's on the fence. But Omar is like the deep dive. And it's like, so I always feel like with the YouTube, you can be first or better, but we get to be neither. So we're after Jim because Jim does his like months early. Omar does his about a week before the book comes out, and Omar's is better because his is like 35 minutes long and he knows every X-Men event that's ever happened. And I go, so this character looks like Jean Grey. She has red hair, but I guess she's related, but Jean says she's not. Like, is she an X-Men? Why are Fantastic Four in this X-Men book?
Hey, but what you get out of our videos are unique photos, which is one that we took for the extinction.
Oh my gosh, is he gonna show the image?
No, I'm not loading that up.
That's saved for our Patreon members like Bat Cato. Bat Cato got to see that. And he actually said he would up his Patreon amount if I put more clothes back on. So that kind of gave us some perspective. So yeah, it is hard. Today I'll be cracking open the Green Lantern Green Arrow Omni. I'll show you a little haul that we got yesterday. Because I've read the stuff in the Absolute, but I haven't read any of the other stuff. So we got ROM Volume 3.
The final volume.
Yes. And this was the cover I wanted. This is the first time I've ever got to say, hey, JP, can I have that cover? And he goes, sure. And I actually got the cover I requested.
And then he sends you the wrong one.
Yeah, I know, right? On top of that,
never unsee that photo by Cato.
Punisher Max.
That's on the way to me.
Nice.
You'll get it someday. You'll get it someday.
Oh, I see the tracking.
This one, my cat. This one was a little damaged, and my cat messed it up even more. But Green Lantern, Green Arrow with like the messed up plastic.
Nah, plastic's okay.
Yeah.
Then he gave us a DC's Finest because DC only gave us one, and Jordan wanted one.
Aw.
Thanks, JP.
And lastly, to round out my set, because he is such a swell guy, I said, I think having ROM Volume 1 and ROM Volume 3 will break my brain. And he just did a deep sigh, and I hear him clicking on his keyboard. And I saw the order placed, and he sent me ROM Volume 2 as well. So what a stand-up guy.
You just don't know what happens in the middle.
You have a fun book on the way to you.
I do have a fun book. We'll talk about it when it arrives.
Okay, a little tease for you guys. You got to watch next week's or not next week because both me and Jordan will be gone next week, but you'll have a surprise guest host.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, so we'll talk about
guests.
And then Off My Shelves is 17 months behind you, so I have no idea where I fall on that list. And yes, you can never unsee that photo of let's just say it was me trying to do an homage to an X-Men cover. And shouts out to Dom of X, our dear friend. Always a pleasure.
So Jordan, what did you get for your hauls?
So I would go grab them if I didn't reorganize some books like 30 minutes ago. The biggest book that I got was Thor by Donny Cates, which you can see an overview coming out on the OPB channel probably next week after we do a reshoot on that
Yeah,
one.
or you'll see a dubbed version with Jordan's hands and me doing my best to sound like him. Or maybe I should just sound like me.
Perez.
Oh my god. That's the thing I never lived down. Why do they always judge me for how I pronounce things? I feel like it's almost worse to try to pronounce it authentically and be even more cringe.
Mr. Synopsis.
Synopsis.
Synopsi.
There you go.
Synopsi.
Synopsis.
Is that when there's more than one?
No, I'm just making up words.
Um,
It's kind of like
Well,
how they butchered symbiote when they
Hmm.
said symbiotes. Remember that? It's like,
yeah.
it's not symbiote. Stop it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I was like, ooh, stop it. Stop it.
Jake, what's coming out this week?
Oh, well, I got a haul.
He's got
Chris,
you always
I'm
cut him
sorry,
off,
Chris.
bro.
Show
got a
us your
haul.
haul.
You
please.
interrupt him, you cut up his haul. There.
There we go.
Oh, you went with the wanted cover.
I did. I went with the altered wanted cover. I still, I'm salty about it, but I like it. I definitely liked it more than the standard. So I got that.
Jake, can you grab the other cover?
Oh, yeah, I guess I do have other books for my haul.
And then this lovely Jim Lee edition.
Ooh.
Never gonna
Nice.
sell this. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Especially love the imaging on the back. You got Deathstroke. I'm wondering, Superman does look a little confused though. He doesn't know what he's doing there. And then I know you both are happy. This arrived yesterday.
Yes, I love that one.
So very excited to revisit this.
Those are some of my favorite tie-ins for Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, and then a Kickstarter I backed way back when came in. The Masterclass edition of The Mask of the Man of the Dead Zorro by Sean Gordon Murphy.
I thought you were going to show off the Extremity one. I was excited for that one.
Well, I've had that for a while. That's technically not a new thing, but it also came with, signed print.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So very excited. So yeah, that's my haul.
Oh, we've lost Jake. It's
We
okay.
lost Jake. Did he trip and fall again?
Yeah, he did.
The glare of that print that you had reminded me of another book I forgot to show off from my haul.
Oh.
But keep going.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Oh, okay. So the other cover, and how could I say no to that man meat, man? Look at that.
It's a lot of havoc.
Honestly, I'd take a little bit more. And then my first, and I keep saying this wrong, I'm going to try to say it correctly.
Uh-oh.
My first acetate
Yes.
cover, you should have seen how many takes I butchered. Saying, something that doesn't sound appropriate. But it's my first acetate cover. I love this story. It is very near and dear to my heart. When I was in junior high or high school, I don't know where I was. I was alone in a mall or something, and sounds kind of lonely and sad. But I was at a bookstore, and I never had comic books, and I grabbed a fat collection of Death of the Family. I think it had the tie-ins, and I just sat in there like it was a library and read the full thing from start to finish. So never in a million years could I have imagined that someday I'd have a collection like this in Omnis and now an Absolute. So, and this cover, it grew on me. I didn't like it at first. I didn't understand it at first, but look, that's his mask and his mask. They're mirror images. There's duality, the same coin. Maybe that's two-faced, but you know what I mean.
I can't wait till they do the absolute of Jim Gordon as you think they're gonna do that?
As Bunny Bat?
Yeah.
I think that my hope is let's skip after 0 year. Give me in-game and Last Night on Earth, and I'll be a happy camper. I don't need anything else.
Will your
I don't need
OCD
super
allow you
heavy.
to not have super
To
heavy?
not have Graveyard Shift. Not
Look,
have
I
to live
survived. I survived the Morrison Absolutes.
You didn't survive ROM. You caved pretty easily on ROM.
I
There it
just
is.
asked for it, and he sighed, and he gave it. But yes, I'm at the point where I want less absolutes because I need them all. But so it frees up space. But we got this Dark Sith saying Zorro is amazing.
Oh yeah, that master, all the extras in it, it's exactly worth the price of admission.
One thing that was fun was the new introduction to this book. Scott Snyder talks about why the Joker was so important to him, and it was because his very first comic he ever read as a child was in the DC versus Marvel crossover. It was Batman versus the Hulk, where the Joker goes like, "I have green hair, you have green hair, let's team up." And so his first comic book had Joker in it, and it was crazy that I got to read the introduction like a week after I had read that story for the first time.
All right,
It was like it was just for me, you know. And I have a feeling that 0 Year will be it. I hope so anyways. There will be plenty of surplus shelf space dominated by later arcs. Is there anything other than in-game that we would want and Last Night on Earth? Like, what do you want, Chris? Or do you not collect them in the absolutes?
No, I'm good with the Omnis for that one. You know I did have the Morrison absolutes, but that was before they collected them, or at least before I knew about the Omnis at that point. So I have those, but probably looking back, I probably wouldn't have gotten the absolutes of the Morrison run in that case, knowing what it. But I'm not selling because I just like the format.
Did you get Batman and Son to tie to your absolute set that you already have? Okay.
Nope.
See, that's why he's rational buying since 1984, and I'm the opposite.
Oh, yeah. There's certain things I will say, you know what, I can live without that. So
now I need to know, what's the most irrational purchase you've ever bought? And then Jordan had a question.
Irrational? Well, the one I've paid above cover for was JLA Avengers, so we'll call that irrational.
Nice.
But it was within reason and within my budget, so.
Jake called that a gift.
What was your question, Jordan?
Oh, I was just gonna say how I appreciate Chris on his rational spending and not upgrading to absolutes, because I try to do the same and I typically fail.
I am not upgrading to death. I'm not upgrading Death of Superman. That's one I will pass on. I've already upgraded that Omni twice, and I am not getting that absolute. I am upgrading to Red Sun. Red Sun is a definite yes upgrade.
Nice. That one I'm stoked for because the deluxe has never been in print since I've been reading.
Same here.
But the only thing about Death of Superman is how good is that triple page fold out spread going to be? But yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Jordan's rules on absolutes keeps changing. At first he was like, I'm only collecting out of continuity stories in absolute, but in continuity in omnibus. And I go,
it's very specific.
That's a great rule. And then he goes, well, technically Vertigo is a side continuity. And I'm like,
it is a side continuity.
And now, yeah.
So
his rules keep changing. He's bending. He's going to break.
I'm with Bat Cato on Wonder Woman Dead Earth. Definitely Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Is that your most wanted absolute?
I mean, right now, yes. It's one of those where I love Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I just love the art, and I think that style would serve so well in oversight. I mean, I love the deluxe edition. I held off buying the hardcover when I said, no, I'm going to have faith. This will have a deluxe edition, and my faith was rewarded. So, and I'm okay I'm okay upgrading because here's another one. I have bought, kind of like you've done, Jake. In this case, I have bought the standard edition, Mr. Miracle. I have the deluxe edition, and yes, I will be upgrading to the absolute because I wasn't sure if that would ever come in absolute.
So, and which sadly got pushed back to January. I think that should have come out next week, I believe. So I know that was so sad. That was my favorite moment on the Let's Not Get Political stream with Jess. Melanie and Omar joined, and I mentioned how Mr. Miracle got pushed back to January, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, thank you." I asked Omar earlier, and he didn't know, and I go, "Looks who the new home of collected editions is," and he was like, "Jess, boot him off the stream.
Boot him off now."
So okay, I was gonna hold off on Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow in the trade paperback, but then when I'm in line to meet Tom King and he had one for sale.
Oh, you have to.
How do you say no to that point? You know,
I did the same thing with Daniel Warren Johnson before. So
off my shelves, absolute Dark Knight Returns, only Dark Knight Returns, which I feel a lot of people would appreciate if it was only Dark Knight Returns collected.
I think what I want Jordan to do is I want him to buy the Frank Miller Batman collection hardcover and then do a best way to collect Dark Knight, and then buy the gallery edition out of print, and that'd be a great video.
Similar to what you all did with Watchmen.
Right?
Oh.
Isn't that? Oh, we have a new. He's gotten like 6 new formats of Watchmen, including the rarest one, and he's like, "I'll do a video someday."
So that the plan is, I will redo that video one day because I do now own every format of Watchmen.
I don't think you have the book club edition, but
The book club edition is a hardcover.
You own Watchmen in one of every format, but you don't own every version of Watchmen.
I didn't say every version. I said every format.
Chat, let us know. Do you want us to go the extra mile and track down it doesn't have to be a first edition, just a edition of the book club edition of Watchmen. We owe it to our fans.
A fifth of Jack, I will happily supply you with that deluxe edition.
Wait, hold on. Maybe I'll...
Too late.
Wait, I have a standard size hardcover.
Yeah, you're right. You do. That one.
I thought I had the deluxe.
Yep,
Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Who knows
I will
what's on my
happily
bookshelf?
help you out with that. A fifth of Jack.
And then Raphael saying, if DC ever make it, I would love Wonder Woman by Perez. Sorry, how do you say it, Jordan?
Perez.
There you go.
Basically what I said, volume 2, absolute.
You say it without the accent.
Am I allowed to try to say the accent? I don't know what
Sure.
society.
You can
deems
try. You'll be canceled, but sure.
Yeah.
Perez. Is that better or
No,
worse?
It's not Paris, France.
Perez.
Yeah.
Perez.
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 Like
Okay.
a Pez dispenser.
Yeah, but Chris didn't mention it'll be a jacked up price.
No. Talk
Just
to
kidding.
Taylor. I gave Taylor a very fair price for all the Hellblazers.
There
Chris,
was a
what price?
Reddit post a couple weeks ago of someone who posted all 30 of the Hellblazer trades.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that Taylor? I won't dox him. I won't even find out if it was. But he was like, I'm not supposed to be buying, but I bought every Hellblazer trade. And I was like, I wonder, is that Taylor?
Chris,
It
what
is
was the
not.
price Jake sold you second chances? It
He
had
was
to be
such-
like at least $50, right?
It
Knowing Jake.
was like 800, and I had to talk him down. He had such a high price.
Sounds like him.
Yeah. But then Jordan stole my thank you. Chat, hear this. I gave Chris an out of print whale that goes for egregious prices. Now, mind you, chat, it wasn't mint. I didn't realize this until I was sending pictures, but there was a little stain on the bottom side of the pages. You know what I mean? But it still reads perfectly. But, you know, this is second chances. This has been out of print since the dawn of time, you know? And I said, you know what? You can have it. You know, we talked about pricing, but I didn't care. I was like, you can have it. And I gave it to Jordan to ship it out of work. And he used his employee discount to get it to ship it out for, I don't know, maybe a few dollars. Maybe it was so cheap, Media Mail paid him to ship it. And he goes, wow, thank you so much, Jordan. You're a great person. And I'm like, what about me?
No,
He lumped us together as if his $5 shipping. Yeah.
We're gonna go receipts on this. Let's see.
We're going
exactly
receipts.
what I said.
Chat, let me know, who do you support? Didn't I
I-
deserve a separate thank you?
You gotta thank you on your own chat.
The pettiness.
Yeah, but I wanted Jordan to see the thank you. What's the thank you if no one else? If a thank you falls in a forest and there's no trees, did it even grow?
the thank
Like
If
playing
no one
cards with
else
my
sees
brother's
it.
kids.
No.
Said, "Oh, thank you." That's what that was.
To Jordan.
Yes, to Jordan. And then in the sense, because that was giving thanks in the sense to the shipping, and I've gave you lots of thanks for your very gracious offer for what you were doing.
Yeah.
You give a cookie. You give a mouse a cookie. That's the story of Jake's life. Jake, what books are coming out this week?
Yes, let's
We're
get
gonna
into
hit this
that.
last
Before-
chat. I'm sure we'll get Absolute White Knight. But I
Oh
I think
yes,
they-
yes.
Didn't they say they're doing one once the final story is done? Is that last story done?
It has no. He's working back. He's finally connecting again with DC. So there, I think the final story is going to be. He had talked about it before DC stopped calling him back for whatever reason. It's going to be a World's Finest
Oh.
Oh.
because that's how Beyond kind of ended.
Okay.
So
And special thank you with a happy ending. Oh no, there was no happy ending.
Ooh.
That's not what the stain on the book was. It was a dark stain.
Like a coffee stain, more like it looked like.
Hey, you almost got it, but it was one of those invisible absolutes that were conceived and never came to term. Okay, new release books for November 10th. And remind you, you can get all of these from Organic Price Books. If you're watching on the Organic Price Books channel, you can see them linked down below. So let's get started. Off the bat, Avengers Epic Collection, Seasons of the Witch, and I mean, I'm going to guess. It says Seasons of the Witch, so this has to include Scarlet Witch, I'm assuming. So this feels...
The cover will let you know that.
Is that... She doesn't have moth wings. Oh, okay. She's standing behind...
What?
She's standing... Who's that guy? The red guy? Is that the dude that Harry Styles is going to be?
Yeah, it's Firefox.
Yeah, that's Firefox.
That's like the most cancelable Avenger you could ever get.
More than Hank Pym in the Ultimates universe? Or
I said one of the most cancelable. Like he...
Chat, who would you rather cancel? Firefox or Hank Pym?
Hank Pym, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then T. Hodgins, Manifest Destiny 2. That's got to be a Mitch overview. He loves Manifest Destiny. So let's be on the lookout for that. When he gets back from Hawaii in his jammies.
Jams.
You love talking about Mitch's jammies.
Okay, we've video chatted fellow OPB friend of the channel, Mitch, aka Omnibuddy, and he was wearing like 1950s corduroy jammies that had his name monogrammed on it. It was a look. Okay, so Scarlet Witch, Seasons of the Witch, she's on the cover. This has to be because they're trying to like build some capital off of like all the spooky like Agatha show, right? You know, right? Or you think it's just coincidental timing?
Coincidental timing. Just what's coming next.
And they don't like my idea. Okay, is anyone picking this up? I've never bought an Epic, but there is one on my bookshelf.
I've had Epics before just as gap fillers.
Okay, we got a hot take. Firefox. Pym had that one bad incident. Firefox is always bad.
He's creepy. He's just he's creepy as all get out.
If we ever do a convention together, can we cosplay? You'll be Firefox and I'll be Pip the Troll.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
You can be Pip the Troll. I'm not being Firefox. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, who else does Pip team up with? I don't know Pip that
Adam
well.
Warlock.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris is not going to be Adam Warlock, but chat, let us know. Are you interested in the Epic collection of Seasons of the Witch?
Chris has the jawline for Adam Warlock.
I don't have the blonde hair.
We could fix
that can be fixed. That can be fixed in editing. Moving on, Black Sad. Now, this is a book I know Bunk loves, and I'm gonna guess because they're human-animal hybrids. Mitch loves this too. So,
I recently binged all the current run of Black Sad up until obviously this one was coming out, and I think one of the I want to see if I can get this right, and so I'll probably still get it wrong. It's not animals acting like humans. These are humans that just happen to have the appearance of their respective kind of animal they are, kind of portraying.
Like BoJack Horseman.
Yes. It's not a Zootopia kind of thing, where they're animals acting like humans. These are humans acting like animals.
Why is the most disconcerting part the fact that she only has whiskers on half her face?
That's the most disconcerting to you.
Yeah. I'm going to guess just from the look that this has to do with some sort of mystery or detective, right? Like the way he's standing, he's got a Sherlock Holmes scarf,
Black Sad is if you love any kind of crime noir, read Black Sad. Everything Black Sad. It is the artwork outstanding, the stories, the writing is just great, and this is the continuation of the first part of again, it takes a long time for these to come out at that point, so I'm diving into this as soon as it comes out this coming week.
Sweet.
It is bought and will be read very quickly. Black Sad is all about fantastic on every level.
Yes.
And it apparently is an award-winning international bestseller.
It is.
So Black Sad. Is the other stuff still in print? You know what I mean? Like, is it like, can I still, they're probably on Hoopla. I got to check Hoopla, or buy from Organic Price Books. Yep. Moving on, Blood Hunters, One More into Darkness. Okay, I know that's Hawkeye, but I don't know who that girl is. Or is this
Emma
not
Frost?
Hawkeye?
Oh no, that's not Emma. That's I can't. You know what? I'm at a loss too.
You're at a
Also,
loss.
real quick, Black Sad still available on Organic Price Books.
Yes. So you've got that would be Dagger.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like with
Yep.
Cloak?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I always thought she was younger. She looks of age, which I'm a fan of. Wait,
You
don't
didn't
pick that
seem
out.
like you. It didn't
And-
I'm
sound
not
like
being Firefox. I'm saying I'm happy that she looks like she's grown. Wait, okay.
So this is basically part of the tie-ins with the blood hunt event at this point. So this is the mini series that ties into this, and they actually have blood. It'll spin out to another kind of series that's kind of continuing there. So
Was this well received? Was this a fade? I know that like you have strong opinions on events.
I mean, blood hunt was an okay event. The ending was really cool, and I'm looking forward to the fallout to it. The tie-ins, it's the problem with every tie-ins. Meh.
Yeah, that's about
You know?
that's about. I'm gonna say like this doesn't look like an international bestseller that's fantastic on every level, on the level of Black Sad. But
Yeah. They could
and
be
yes,
a-
please don't clip that. I was not saying that in a weird, creepy way, but I just thought that Dagger was younger.
Bunk's clipping it later on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so not much to say about this one. I feel like. Who's
you-
that
if-
werewolf? Is that werewolf
That's-
from the Marvel Werewolf at Night thing, or is that a different wolf?
Is that
No,
J.
that is-
Jonah Jameson's son?
That is J. Jonah Jameson's son. That is Manwolf.
Yeah.
His son's a man wolf? I don't know anything about Spider-Man. Here we go. This is one that I actually own, and if you want to watch an overview of this,
Oh.
you can. I guess James will link it probably. It's our current video. This was the one I famously tried to talk people out of pre-ordering at our last show because of the
How
DC
dare
sale. But the DC sale's not going on anymore. So now it's a
Buy away.
no-brainer. Yeah, buy away. And
So what makes this a DC finest book there, Jake? What in particular?
so like you mean physically, or why is this
Yeah,
being
just saying
collected
why
in
why is this? Because I know you praise this. I mean I praise it, but I want to have them kind of give a
So-
preview to your video.
I have to say, as you guys know, I love the compact comics. I wish this would have been what they started with as opposed to Grant Morrison's Wonder Woman, because this is such an accessible Wonder Woman run. It shows every aspect of her character, from her humanity to her side as like a princess, a goddess, a warrior. And it has amazing moments where she's battling classic villains and other moments where she's sitting down and she's talking about how like relationships are hard with a villain, and you get to see those human sides. And it flips the origin of Wonder Woman on her head to where like I never could have considered that, like, because she's always so loved by the fellow Themyscirians, or Themyscirians, how do you say that? But
Yeah, I
like
think
some
you got it.
maybe weren't a
You got
fan
it.
of her because her existence breaks their laws. So you have a deeply personal story. I think my favorite arc was one of my favorite arcs was like the Beowulf arc, where it was like this like sweeping epic. I think it was the Blackheart thing. And then I really love that villain they created. I think Genocide, that looks like an alligator with, I thought it was just an all-around great run.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I was not surprised. I was very happy to see that they included this.
And because this is the only Wonder Woman run I've read besides Grant Morrison, to me, this is the definitive run. And that just makes everyone in the comics go, what about Greg Rucka's run? And I go, I'll read it in the omnibus next year. And
Or I'll
yeah.
be like, what about George Perez?
Yeah, that
Don't
was good.
Is that the
I
right way?
appreciate
Okay.
the attempt. That was fantastic.
And yes, thank you.
Jake, can you
for-
say it?
Jake George who?
Perez.
Oh.
Perez.
Oh.
Oh,
What is that worse?
there you go.
Um,
I'm gonna tap
there
you on the
okay,
head.
so
there you go.
if I remember correctly, this doesn't have, and maybe if Dom is still here, he can let me know for sure. This doesn't have everything the omnibus does, but it does have one issue in this that wasn't in the omnibus, or it has some stuff that wasn't in the omnibus because the omnibus was creator specific to Gail Simone's,
Correct.
and this has stuff not written by Gail Simone. So once this continues, this will actually be the more correct way to own it. Not correct, but complete way.
Yeah.
And I have the absolutes, and it's just like, dude, I gotta pump out so many videos for OPB now with Jordan that like I don't have time to read as much as I used to for myself, and I gotta try to find that balance. I asked Omar the other day, and he goes, dude, this is my job, so clearly I don't have that, but you're supposed to do this for fun. And I go, oh yeah. He's like, this is not your job. And I go, it's not.
For this one, it's actually the inverse for Jake and I. So I own Wonder Woman by Gail Simone, but I haven't read it. Jake owns Wonder Woman by Brian Azzarello, but I've read it. So we balance each other out.
He saved me because one time I go, Wonder Woman Blood and Guts Deluxe Edition, I want to buy that. And he goes, you have the absolutes. And I go, I don't have an absolute Blood and Guts. And he goes, you have the Azzarello absolutes. That's included. And I go, okay. That's how bad I know. Yeah, it has. Thank you so much. It has the story by Mark Waid.
Yep.
I'm not missing out. I own it. I'll read it someday. I promise you.
Cliff Chang art is
amazing.
Yeah.
I thought his art was worth the absolute, but Jordan apparently didn't care enough. And I just want that to be clipped also. If you're going to clip my creepy comment about a fully legal and adult dagger, then yeah, okay.
Quit digging yourself a hole.
Okay, moving on. Ghost Rider Final Vengeance.
This threw me. Yeah. This threw me that having it a volume number just because this is a mini series. So they're titling it Volume 5 of, this is continuing Benjamin Percy's run, and you have a new wielder of the Spirit of Vengeance, and you should be able to tell from the cover who that person is now wielding one of the new Spirits of Vengeance. Anyone?
I don't know who it is. Give me a clue.
That would be the Hood.
Okay. Is that
Jake,
is the hood and the cloak? Is hood and cloak different?
Yes. In many ways.
Give us a backstory on the Hood. Give us an origin story.
So Doctor Strange's cape.
And that's
Doctor Strange's cape.
And right when he said that, it's over.
Right? Okay.
No.
I guess like I've never been that jazzed about Ghost Rider. But Jordan, now that you've read was it Danny Ketch Ghost Rider?
Ketch.
Then you've read it from start to finish. You're the Ghost Rider part of the Brave and the Boys now, right?
Oh, I was born and raised on Danny Ketch. That's my Ghost Rider.
The only so I have the book. Thank you for bringing that up. I haven't read it yet. I have a ginormous backlog of books to read that I've just barely started getting into. The only thing I know about the Danny Ketch run is that it had the iconic 90s cover with the glow-in-the-dark flames.
Danny Ketch is, like I said, he's definitely the one I grew up with at that point, so that's kind of like my Ghost Rider era. I mean, I like Johnny Blaze, but Danny's the one I grew up with, and just it is pure 90s goodness. Like everything cliche about it, it's so good.
I love how some people say it is just so 90s as a positive thing, but there's other readers that go, it was just so 90s, and it can mean completely opposite things.
Put a little stank on it.
Yeah, like Jess likes to, Omnidog, friend of the channel, likes to call himself a 90s comic survivor.
Yeah.
He's like, there was just so many pouches, man. I took it as a personal attack. So
reading this miniseries, it was pretty good. It delves into some more interesting new histories of the Spirit of Vengeance and kind of Johnny trying to gain back the control away from the Hood. So
cool.
Blood and Guts. It's Benjamin Percy.
This one, I mean, I feel like the Green Lantern Omnis are like iconic. I know JP just placed a ridiculous sized order for more Green Lantern Omnis for the holiday season. If you don't like Omnis, get the trade paperbacks. But if you do, get the Omnis. That's my vote.
This is a thickie.
Yeah. I mean, we like them thick. Don't get me wrong. But I just famously don't collect trade paperbacks anymore. just say that to make Chris laugh. Hellboy came out in 94, so 90s comics will always be positive.
And still going, too.
Love Hellboy.
And this is a perfect book if you want to be prepared for the Red Lantern omnibus that we're getting next year. You know, if you want your Green Lantern proper in thickies and you want your Red Lantern in an omnibus, if that's the way you collect, then this is. Does this have the Atrocitus's cat in it? Because I feel like I've never read that since I've been a cat owner.
Pretty confident.
Heck yeah. Jordan, now that you've never read this, what do you think the story is behind Atrocitus's cat?
It's called the stream of putting everyone on the spot.
For real. Atrocitus
Defend that backlog.
Amazing arc within the Green Lantern Omni. I'm pretty sure you could find it within Omnibus, the second Omnibus, or you could pick it up in book 4. I don't know, man. Green Lantern's never been my jazz.
Okay, give me that Green Lantern Corps Omnibus back.
That'll be $30. Thank you.
I don't even know how to pronounce this.
I'm gonna try Gunnar Kring.
Yeah, Gunnar Krigg Court, Volume 1, hard.
But you didn't say it with the accent.
I don't even know what accent at this point.
So
I'll read about it. So
okay,
this is Tom Siddle's acclaimed long-running webcomic comes to Dark Horse with the special limited edition hardcover featuring a signed and numbered tip-in. So while the curriculum seems to be,
I needed to know what that is first.
I will show you. A tip-in is here.
Is it appropriate to show on camera? Okay.
Yes, this is a book plate tip-in.
Okay.
So.
Wait, can we make a video, like a YouTube short where I go, Chris, show me just the tip-in, and then you like pull it up?
Stop.
Okay.
Stop. So while the curriculum seems to be focused on advancing science and technology, Antimony Annie Carver quickly discovers that the grounds are home to plenty of things that science can't explain. Ghosts, supernatural phenomena, and even the gods of the neighboring forest. Along with her friend Kat, Annie begins to unravel the mysteries of her new home, Gunnar Krigg Court, which may not actually be a school after all. Collects the chapters 1 through 22 of the series, of the webcomic series.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's just too many acclaimed comics. Like every time, like I feel like no one ever says this pretty good, but not world-shattering comic is now a deluxe. It's always like the greatest web comic you've ever heard of, you know. But if you're a Gunnar Krigg Court fan, like, are you pumped right now? Let us know. And we did get an answer on my question regarding DC's Finest Wonder Woman. The Wade was written by, okay, of course, Perez, and the Outsider issue was part of a series before it launched New Outsiders. That volume will most likely be in an Amazon Attacks, and the volume after that. Okay.
There you go.
Wait, this is your whale? That's awesome.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
In 22 issues, that's not, I mean, that's got to be a good sized book, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. Here we go. Here's one that we ordered. Why are they putting out so many? I mean, why did it take till now to put out? Has it been like 3 Kate's books back to back, or there's so many Omnis recently from him?
Well,
You got Thor, you had this. So
And then I guess Venom years ago. But yeah, we got some back to back Kate's Omnis. And if this is okay, first off, that looks like a giant claw, almost like I don't think it's a symbiote, but pulling out of Hulk is wild. This will have 2 covers, so we'll get a debate on that. And if it's anywhere close to as good as the pages I saw of Thor or what I've read of Venom, I am pumped for this.
Yeah, so this follows Al Ewing's illustrious Immortal Hulk. And so it is a complete like change of like everything. Not like it's not like Donny Cates' take is saying no nuts to Al Ewing or anything like that. It is just a completely wild ride take. And all I will say is Spaceship Hulk. I'm just leaving it at that. It is crazy, this story. I had a lot of fun reading it.
Are you picking this up? And if so, which cover are you leaning towards?
I am not. Hulk is more of me reading as they come out in review copies and on Marvel Unlimited, but I did enjoy the run. So if I were to pick one, that one.
I think I'm leaning to this one.
Yeah, I'm probably due standard for that one.
I'm glad I have a differentiating opinion. I think I'm doing the DM.
I just wish they chose. I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of either one of them, to be honest, because I think there were better covers they could have used from the series that kind of show off like what this run is about.
I honestly think I would like this cover better if it was just the Hulk smashing things and we didn't have like the characters in the background.
But look at the foreground. Look what he's smashing. It's not just things, it's creatures.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Our Masterworks lovers in the chats, we have Uncanny X-Men Volume 2. I don't understand the allure of Masterworks, but if you're in, yeah, we've all been there. If you're into it this deep, is this a reprint? It has to be a reprint because this is a very popular book, right? Or is this the first time Uncanny X-Men Volume 2's ever had a masterwork?
Can't necessarily say that. It is, it's covering the first part of the Phoenix Saga.
Yeah.
So this is I mean, the appeal of the Masterworks is, I mean, the Masterworks are what gives us the omnibus, because that's what the Marvel Omnis are based off of the scans from the Masterworks. So without Masterworks, Omnis exist because of them.
Yeah, Jake, this is a reprint. I just checked.
Okay, yeah, I can imagine like this had to be like one of the first ones that they did. I think the thing about Masterworks that bothers me the most is that they jump around. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, what if like this is brand new and you're like, heck yeah, I just read 9 issues of Uncanny X-Men of the Phoenix Saga, and then the next one is like all the way down to Extinction Agenda, and you're like, oh, come on, what happens? Like that would drive me. It's like the DC's Batman subscription, the fan home subscription that BJ got. The fact that they ship them to you out of order so you can't stop your subscription at any time would drive me bonkers.
Well, it's also the appeal in the sense of, the Omnis have, we always get into Spine-Gate issues. Not everything matches up. It's a little more comic book-y. This Masterworks present kind of a more of a hoity-toity kind of like a very, and I'm not trying to knock anyone for it. I just think it's a very illustrious, elegant presentation that you can put on your shelves and just have it very uniform. There is no change. I mean, there's a DM version of this as well in the next slide, but it's uniform. That is the point of it.
So you get the encyclopedia of a character,
basically,
runs.
Yeah. I mean, it is following. Yes, they're much, as you see, there's only so many issues in it, much less than an Omni, but it is a very elegant presentation.
So, and I will say, seeing Tomasi have every masterwork in order that's ever come out was breathtaking.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Different cover.
Yep.
Their DMs, it's just like smaller, right? I guess.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The shadowing's kind of cool. Now, Star Wars Droids and Ewoks. This was recommended to me the other day because I said I cared more about the droids in Dr. Aphra than Dr. Aphra herself. And someone was, I forget who it was, it might have been one of you guys that were like, get droids and Ewoks then,
I know.
So this omnibus has been out of print for a really long time, right? So,
well, I mean, I don't know if this has been, I don't know if this is a new epic. I want to say it's a new epic that they're putting in together, but yeah, I mean, I think you like the dark droids because of how evil and sadistic they are. These are not the same ones, obviously.
Okay, so it's a different tone.
This is C-3PO and R2-D2.
Okay, it's like okay,
and teddy bears.
This is like the Star Wars that some people probably hate because it's just for kids. Even though all of Star Wars is for kids, but they like to act like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. Is this the same tone as the live action Star Wars Ewok specials?
Oh my gosh, you're taking me back there, Jake. You've watched those?
I have watched the parts of some of them since they've been on Disney Plus, and it's like some little kid running through the forest for like 10 minutes, and I go, well, the opening credits crawl, and I'm like, when is this going to pick up? And I feel like it never does.
Nothing beats the Christmas episode.
The holiday special?
I can't believe that's not on Disney Plus.
Yeah, they'd rather that not exist.
With Chewbacca's family.
Life Day, happy Life Day. Yet the parks do celebrate Life Day, though. The parks do celebrate it. So,
if we didn't have that, we wouldn't ever have Boba Fett, right? That was his first appearance.
I thought that yes. Because then he later, I can't remember if he appeared in the animated thing first or the holiday special, but yes.
Okay, so here's my hot take about this book, Star Wars: The High Republic Phase 2. I was offered this book for free, and I said I'm good. So I read the first 2 arcs of the High Republic comics because I was just so stoked for like this whole line of books and I read the first book and I read the first 2 arcs of the comics, and because I had just come off the Vader Omnis and I was all about Star Wars, and I gotta say, I'm not super jazzed. I feel like I feel like I wanted a little more fan service in these High Republic books, but I get it. They're creating new characters, and I'm not into these. I didn't collect the first one, and JP said pre-orders were abysmal for this, so I figured there was no hype, especially after. And I loved Acolyte, but I feel like there's no hype for this book.
Alex,
I could
if
be
you
wrong.
think 14 issues is bad, go check out what is it? The Planet of the Apes omnibus. I think is 11.
Or Devil Dinosaur, right? Or Danger Dinosaur?
Devil Dinosaur.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, even the Planet of the Apes ones, the amount of it was, to your point, very little, but the amount of money it took them to put that back into a format was why it was such a high cost. So.
Yep.
So is anyone else picking this up, or do you guys feel my sentiments on this?
I'm sticking with the main trilogy. I've only dabbled a little bit in High Republic, so I'm okay.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, but I only picked up my first Star Wars Omni last week, and I forgot to show it. I got Star Wars by Jason Aaron when we talked about it 2 weeks ago because my LCS had it in stock still.
Good. Highly recommend.
Yeah, that's an awesome book. Omar said Star Wars High Republic Phase 1 was one of the best-selling Marvel Omnis when it came out. And then Devil Dinosaur is Kirby, so it's justifiable. Absolutely diabolical.
It's interesting, though, it'd be to the point, like you said, JP said that there's not a lot of hype for this, so it'd be interesting to see how this one goes since with James' comment. So
yeah, I will say I'm kind of more into this cover maybe than that one.
Yeah.
And moving on, Turtles, the 40th anniversary comic celebration, the deluxe edition. So what is this? Is this like the OG one that's black and white? Is this colored?
So it's an anthology looking from back way at the start, so black and white, to kind of modern day, just like a little bit of a sampling of the eras. So it's going from the initial Mirage series of the 1990s up until Tales of TMNT and the rise of the TMNT. So it's just a like a little appetizer if you're wanting to dabble a little bit in Turtles history, celebrating its 40th anniversary. Well, this is a sampling of that kind of stuff.
I can't think of a type of book I'd hate more, but if you're a massive Turtles fan and you get just the absolute most mind-blowing moments or the best issues ever in one sampling, that's cool. But I love like a full story, so it would be weird if like it ends on a cliffhanger and then you jump to 16 years later.
You literally own Superman 80th anniversary deluxe edition.
Okay, so for me, that was a monetary decision. I said, if I get this, finest editions didn't exist yet. So I said, if I get this, I can justify never buying a Golden Age Superman omnibus. So it was saving money because
I've one of my prized kind of autograph sketches is I've got the ultimate visual guide to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Andrew Farago, but inside it's got another one of those lovely tip-ins signed by Eastman and Laird, sketched
nice
Eastman, and the author even did a huge sketch of my choice for the Turtles. He's actually one of the curators of the cartoon museum out in Cali. So
that's awesome,
cool.
Man. Moving on, Savage Sword of Conan, Volume 2. This one looks rad. Also, why is that guy rocking the Uncle Sam cape in the background?
Choices?
Okay. So, I can check into that today, and I'll DM you when I get an answer. Or I can check stock levels and stuff like that. But I would imagine that from what I know, the ROM excitement and hype kind of tapered off after the first one. So I would imagine, especially for like a DM or something, if you like the DM cover, that's might be a little more scarce if there wasn't pre-orders.
Each successive volume, despite this big sales of a first volume, are always going to be less.
Yeah.
The print runs are always going to be less just because they know it's not going to keep the same demand.
Yeah.
That's why like Nightfall Volume 3, I don't believe has still received ever a reprint, but 1 and 2 have.
I looking at them now; they're so lovely back there.
So we were gifted volume 1. I wanted the OG Conan with the colors. I've read some of that stuff, like the Frost Giant's Daughter and stuff like that, some of the original Conan issues, because our coworker is an OG Conan fan that liked Conan. He liked Conan when they were books before there was ever even Marvel comics. So when the Marvel comics came out, it blew his mind. And oh well, you know what, Captain Underpants? I'm looking at my 3, and Jordan's looking at his 3.
Looking at mine 3.
Massive flex. Massive flex.
So
Yeah.
What's cool with the Titan reprint run, and I saw it because of Omar did a live stream with some of the guys over at Titan. They will be continuing the line. So not only does Volume 2, which has been printed by Marvel previously, is coming out, but also Volume 9, I think, will be coming out the following week, which will be the first time that material has ever been collected in an omnibus form.
And they did such an awesome job making them look so close to the Marvel ones. Like,
yes,
like to the point where if I don't think it would bother me, you know?
Yeah.
So Jordan, I want to know which cover you like better. So I'll get the opposite one for you.
Oh, thanks.
Whoa, that is not a YouTube appropriate outfit.
I would lean towards go back to the standard. That's a tough one. That's tough.
See, at least this one gives you a little tease that at last the worms of the earth are going to be
Show
there.
me the other one. What was the other one?
Oh, the big spider. I'm going with the first one. I'd go with the first one.
But look at that elephant in the background. That looks like the look you give me when I try to buy an out of print book.
No, you can buy an out of print book. That's okay.
For above cover.
Yes, that's the look I give you. Yes.
Yeah. I'm like, Chris, can I buy this out of print book? And you go, what's the price? I'm like, $20 above cover, and you're like,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with the standard.
Yep.
Okay, so you'll get the DM then.
Sounds great.
Okay, so my only experience with Trigon is some smart collected editions reader had these fat collections of Trigon, right? And donated them to a half-price books. Me and Jordan went there on our lunch break, and it wasn't even a half-price books. It was a mom-and-pop bookstore, and Jordan got all the Trigons that were there, and I'm like, because he's been wanting to read Trigon. And then he goes, I saw the prices on eBay.
No. What happened was we go to the bookstore and we see every book from Trigon in the original omnibus printing, which are still floppies. And they have every single book except volume 3. So I buy them all. We take them. I go, how much is volume 3? And it goes for $300 for the one volume. And I went, I'm selling these off. There's no point. I'm never spending that much.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. It got sold off.
And were they sold for below cover or above cover?
I think they ended up selling after shipping and all at like $10 above cover.
Well, there you go.
Chris the elephant goes, Jake can't buy those.
Stop it.
I think I made like 30 off of each book, and they were 20 initially, something like that.
Hello, friend. We got to fit the Jack saying standard for sure. And we need an Air Gear manga Omnis reprint. So, Jordan, now that you did sell those off because you could never complete the run, did you get the deluxe editions? Are you getting the deluxe editions?
I haven't yet because I still haven't even completed my Berserk deluxes. I'm missing 4 volumes of that.
And the dope bookends that go with it.
Yes.
Don't get me started on those bookends.
I love looking at my Berserks. I've only been able to, I'm slowly making my way through them.
I'm on volume 6.
You are way ahead of me.
Oh, it's amazing.
No, wait. You're on reading volume 6 or you've purchased up to volume 6?
I'm reading volume 6. I've purchased up to 10.
Okay. So this one, I don't need to know anything about what it's about. just the author and the fact that it's my wife's favorite writer. I did ask for this one. I love that it's the complete series, so I can just read it.
First time ever in this kind of format.
And there was a Kickstarter for super expensive options, right?
There were. I did the Kickstarter, but I wanted it for the digital versions, so it was much more affordable.
Okay. Yeah. I did ask for the slipcase edition just because I love me a good slipcase.
Yep.
We shall see what I get.
Do you want me to read a little bit about it?
Yes, tell me a little bit, but I don't want spoilers.
Yeah, so on October 16th, 2013, Bay Point Preparatory High School in suburban Milwaukee vanished without a trace, only to reappear on a forest-covered moon in an uncharted part of the universe. Students and staff find themselves in the middle of an ancient primordial wilderness. Where are they? Why are they there? The answers will prove stranger than anyone possibly imagined. So I'll kind of leave you with that. It collects issues 1 through 36. And so this is, written by the illustrious James Tynion IV, and illustrations by Michael Delanis, whose work can be seen in Wind and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
All I know is that Tynion grew up around the forest and has always been a little spooked by it. You see elements of that, and something is killing the children.
Yep.
So the fact that he has a series called The Woods, I'm sure it's going to be great.
Yep. So highly recommend it. Absolutely amazing series.
So that'll be my first time reading through it. That's probably the one I'm most excited for this week.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one. Yeah. And then Zatanna and the Ripper. I gotta be honest. This isn't the cutest I've seen Zatanna dressed before. I like the top hat, but it's not my. I'd rather it be like a Paul Dini Zatanna.
So this is the I believe this is kind of the YA Zatanna series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the webtoons collected. I don't know much about the story. I just know about webtoons. My sister typically likes to read issues on there when they get published weekly. I'm gonna say weekly.
I think the only one webtoon that's ever called my name is like the one where it's just the Bat Family slice of life one.
Yeah.
Just give me that one. I don't know who the Ripper is, but I saw the powers of who was the Paint Girl, and I wasn't that impressed. The other YA
the one from last week.
Yeah, the one from last week.
Primer.
So
yeah, there you go.
Give me a team up between Ripper and Primer and every other obscure webtoons character where they cross over to the main continuity to try to have an impact.
Only to find out they don't.
And they don't. Okay, so is this the last one, or we got a lot more? I think this is the last one. We got a few more. Okay. So, Creepshow. This looks like a book that Taylor already has pre-ordered in some absurd size. You know what I mean? So, this just looks like it's straight up Taylor's alley.
Creepshow.
You said you're getting the Taschen of Creepshow, right?
There's a Taschen coming of the EC comics, which I think is different, right?
Yeah.
You're the Taschen person, so
Jake,
that's not my room.
So this looks like an OG like horror comic, like why we have the Comics Code Authority. I'm gonna guess it's OG stuff and not like a reprint. I need to take a call here. The links if I don't make it back in time. Of course.
All right, thank you, James. If you are a fan of Ice Cream Man, Silver Coin, any kind of the modern kind of horror anthology series, Creepshow is cut from the same tooth as the EC series. So
wasn't it a movie? What's the movie I'm thinking of that had Stephen King in it?
Creepshow had been movies, yeah.
So I saw the first Creepshow for the first time this year, and I thought it was great, but
yeah. You got a lot of, people who kind of got their first, or at least as they were working in their stuff. You got Ennis in there. You got Paul Dini in here. Some great, Francisco Frank Vela, amazing art with that. So, I mean, I won't be necessarily picking it up because I've kind of, I've dabbled in it. But again, there's only so much room. But highly recommend Creepshow if you're a fan of horror anthologies.
I like the Mighty Mouse looking character on the cover. Okay, so there's two covers.
Yep.
Wow. I gotta say this is the better cover, but that one is intense. Okay. Okay, now this is what you're all here for. This is what you're all here for. I did sell my Sunstone, and I did sell my Swing. I called it the Horny Lot, and one guy bought it, and my favorite thing was that his profile picture on Facebook when he asked for it was his wedding picture. So I never asked for Sunstone. I never asked for Swing. It was JP and David sending me a wedding gift, and
they decided to have some fun.
Guys. Yeah, they decided to have some fun. So, yeah. Do you want to read? Are we allowed to read the solicit to this?
Yeah, we can read it. You know, Stefan Subjects continues his series. So, it's loving someone means building a shrine within your heart dedicated to them. A shrine made of good memories and treasured moments. Anne is about to find the shrine of her heart ransacked by none other than the person it was devoted to. As for Ally and Alan, they find themselves straining as a risky hobby grows into an obsession and threatens to destroy all other aspects of their lives. A friendship is about to be put to the test, that it may just end up failing. Time to grow up. And this collects Sunstone Mercy Volume 6 through 8.
Jay.
Okay.
I just realized when Chris said Stefan Subject, he's the author of Harleen.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's done deviant art before. Like that was what he was known for before he started doing comics.
Very much.
Can I pitch a crossover I want to see?
Okay.
I want to see Sunstone crossover with For Better or For Worse.
Hey.
That's what I want to see.
Super chat.
Thank you so much. Is that Slifer the Sky Dragon or Safar? Okay, happy weekend again. Jake, again, request for your 10 favorite writers list with recommended works. I will try to get to that. That'll be a video I will shoot in November or December, but I will try to get it for you by the end of the year.
Nice.
But I feel like that's a controversial video that I'm going to get some hate on. Okay, guys. So before we wrap it up, I want to say one thing. Jordan is going to be working next weekend, and I am going to be on my first vacation since my wedding over a year ago. And I've thought about asking my wife, can I stream from my laptop in the Vegas hotel? But I think I owe her more than that. So Chris will be guest hosted. Well, Chris will have a guest host, friend of the channel, Omnidog. So it'll probably be our most viewed episode ever because without me and Jordan and with Omnidog, that's just a recipe for success. So that'll be there. But I want to know, guys, what is your most hyped up book of the week? Mine is The Woods slipcase edition.
It was Sunstone.
My wife would be upset at me.
What's yours,
Chris?
Jordan?
What's yours?
Never mind. Out of these, I don't think I'd say Black Sad. Black Sad is my hype for this week.
Cool. Mine is probably gonna be Hulk by Cates. Looking forward to that.
Not Savage Sword Volume 2?
Savage Sword is cool. Actually, I cracked my Volume 1 open today. That's why I had it readily on the side.
So savage.
It is.
Guys, we want to thank you all so much. Wait, I thought Green Lantern Corps Volume 2. Yeah, you can go. Did it get pushed back? Let's check. So
I went through comic book releases.
Can I save it and double dip next week? No, only one a week. So let's go to Organic Price Books. I'll check that one last thing for you. The thing is, a lot of DC books got pushed back recently. So we were going off of friend of the channel's awesome website, Comic Releases. Green Lantern Volume 2. There's Volume 1. I'll check this one last thing and then we'll get going. Green Lantern.
I'm seeing the 19th.
It says 11/12, but it's still under pre-order. So I'll ask Dom if Green Lantern Corps got pushed back, but a lot of DC books all got pushed back. So I know that.
I think
week,
that. I want to say that is coming towards later this month.
Yeah, so because hopefully it's still later this month. Collected editions, DC. I click Omnibus, and we'll see if it's coming out later.
According to Penguin House, it comes out on the 19th, but that might just be for mass market.
Let's just see.
March 19th is the March 19th is the current one.
November 9th.
Yep, November
Wait,
19th.
is there not another DC omnibus until then? That's insane. So, according to comic releases, there's this is 11/19 release.
Yep, 11/19.
Yeah,
Yep.
March. You were saying March, November.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I misread. It says added March 19th, 2024, which has already happened. I misread that as March 19th, 2025, thinking there was not a DC omnibus until then. So we're all good. Everyone, thank you so much. Thank you, Organic Price Books, and everyone have a great day.
Thank y'all.
Bye.